The day has finally arrived. Like we've been predicting in our videos for a few weeks now, snapshots are being pushed to the side, and we officially have the first, among hopefully a few, pre-releases for Minecraft 1.14. So, what does that mean? Today is an exciting day in the Minecraft community. As it sits, we're closer to 1.14 than we've ever been, and now we know it, and so does Mojang. With what is hopefully the beginning of a well-timed release window, we can begin to see where Minecraft 1.14 is headed in the coming weeks, and then enjoy the release as the official version of Minecraft. In this video, we're going to discuss Minecraft 1.14's first pre-release, and boy am I personally excited for this one in specific, but I'll get into that later. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So if this is your first snapshot rodeo, what in the world is a pre-release? Well, let's explain it. To put it simply, a pre-release is essentially a glorified snapshot. Why though? Frankly, because it's meant to be a signifier that we're nearing the end of the development cycle and leading into the release cycle, hence the name pre-release. Snapshots are like alphas, pre-releases are like betas. The release is the official version of the game, the 1.13s, 1.13.1, 1.13.2, you get the point. Essentially, 1.14 is right around the corner. Just because we have a pre-release though, doesn't mean the update is coming next week. I mean, it might, but it also might not. Pre-releases are sporadic. While yes, they're typically weekly, they can also be daily. They're basically just for bug fixes. While we're gonna try to cover the pre-releases just like we do with our snapshot videos, we might not always be able to make a dedicated video on the matter if the given pre-release doesn't have enough to cover for its own dedicated video. Luckily, in this pre-release though, there is enough, and we couldn't be happier. So now that you know what a pre-release is, let's really get started. In Minecraft 1.14 pre-release 1, Minecraft gained a few new features and changes to the game, and while simple, they're actually quite interesting. Firstly, the F3 menu has been changed. Opening it up, you'll see that a new item has been added known as sounds. Sounds, pretty simply, tells you how many sounds are playing at that given moment. The first number does that, and the second number is the absolute limit. Testing it out with note blocks and continuously adding onto a clock spinning around and around in a circle, it definitely does its job. Pushing as many sounds as I could possibly put out at a time, I never once saw it go over 247. I would hit 247, but it definitely never went over. So if my assumptions are correct, within Minecraft, only 247 sounds can play at once. Not that anything that complex would ever really sound overly pleasing. Another change to the game was in addition to the Optimize World Screen option under Edit within the Select World menu. Opening it up, you're met with an option to quote, remove cached world data. For example, height maps and light so that it's recomputed upon the next load. I assume that this one's going to help out a lot of people, especially ones having issues on the worlds with these sorts of various problems. On top of that, some other basic optimizations were made to the game as well, some that we'll talk about in a few that we're very excited to mention. Like every snapshot, and now every pre-release, some basic bug fixes were added into the game, primarily ones like fixing short mobs drowning below the water surface on accident. Now, baby foxes shouldn't completely drown when they're swimming around in the water. They've also fixed some various lighting issues that players are having with chunks, and a few minor glitches in regards to villagers and pillagers that most players probably didn't notice in the first place. Another interesting bug fix was crouching, namely the delay between going up and down that was introduced when we were able to go under 1.5 tall block slabs. And no, before you get scared that that feature was removed, we are still able to go under 1.5 tall block slabs, and then go even lower with the use of trapdoors and regular ones. Whether or not this will be the case in the future pre-releases, I'm not absolutely sure, but people love it, and so do I, so hopefully it stays. But on to the most important bug fix. In my opinion, when 1.14 was introduced to players, a slew of problems that myself and Michaelmcchill have reluctantly critiqued has now been fixed. Teleporting, one of 1.14's biggest problems, is now one of its biggest assets. Seeing how 1.14 was acting initially, I wasn't sure that teleporting was ever going to be fixed. And for those of you who are not aware, you couldn't teleport beyond like 1,000,000 blocks or so before the game would just break. If anything, I almost felt like Mojang was going to have to completely redo certain aspects of the game, namely the rendering engine and things of that nature, before this saw a fix. In my last video, I recommended exactly that. I said it should be the #1 priority of the development team before this release hits that this gets fixed. And thankfully, it's been almost completely fixed, where the game absolutely struggled at some points, literally shut itself down after teleporting more than 1,000,000 blocks. Now we're able to teleport 30 million blocks away in less than 5 seconds without a single hiccup. Mojang, thank you. Seriously. You don't know how happy this one has made me, and probably the rest of the community as well. You made this a top priority, and you fixed it. Thank you for bringing back such a vital part of the game for me. At one point, I definitely wondered if it was ever going to get fixed, and I wasn't excited to have to deal with this problem. For me, 1.14 just got a lot better. You've made exploring the world of Minecraft way more accessible again, and I thank you for that. So where do we go from here? What does all of this mean for Minecraft? Well, it means that 1.14 is coming out soon, quote unquote. In pre-release terms though, that can mean a lot of things. Like I said at the beginning of the video, pre-releases can be very sporadic, and Mojang has been anything but consistent with their decisions surrounding pre-releases. Sometimes they're weekly, sometimes they're daily, sometimes there's like a 2-week gap. Sometimes, like in the case of 1.7, we can skip over 1.7 entirely and go straight to 1.7.2 and then release the game, all in the matter of 2 days. Or in the case of 1.13, we can go from 1.13 pre-release 1 to 1.13 pre-release 10 in approximately 44 days and then release the regular 1.13. Mojang isn't super consistent with any of this. In this cycle of development, it's just about getting the official update out for the public and then get back into the development cycle for the next update. So there's really no way to put this yet. As of writing this video on very late Wednesday night, there's no word on if another pre-release is going to come out anytime soon this week, but one honestly might. It might be tomorrow, it might be the next day, it might be a week, it might be 2. Regardless, we don't know. In the case of 1.11, we might totally have a single pre-release and then the update is just thrown onto us. Some pre-releases might be very small in nature, and some pre-releases might add a ton. We genuinely just don't know, and that's why I'm repeating these points. In Michaelmcchill's opinion, a lot of 1.14 is ready to go. The update could come out in 2 or 3 weeks and be perfectly fine, and in certain aspects, he wouldn't mind the update to be thrown out as soon as maybe next week. Whatever Mojang's decision may be, I trust that the update's release will come along swimmingly, and I certainly can't wait to be able to download it and play alongside everybody. 1.14 genuinely looks pretty good right now, and I think that many in the community might agree with that. As of right now, most, if not all of the features in 1.14 are being or are finalized. If you have any major issues with certain features being introduced into the game, you'll definitely want to make your voice heard in whatever way that you can, primarily through the feedback website, as we've talked about in this video. Realize that at any moment, 1.14 could be dropped on us. The release is a ticking time bomb. The messed up thing? There's no counter. The positive side, it's filled with a bunch of goodies, so get ready because we might be here for a while. So what do you think? Are you excited for Minecraft 1.14's official release? Are you happy that we're in the pre-release phases of the game at this point? Do you think anything needs changing or fixing? Let me know in the comments section down below and Mojang on their feedback website. And while you're there, let me know if you'd like to see any more videos about 1.14's pre-releases. If anything interesting does get shown off or comes out with these pre-releases, I'll definitely try to let you know about it. But other than that just about does it for me for now. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like on it, because it would really help out myself and Michaelmcchill, who co-wrote and edited this video, the channel and the video quite a lot. But anyways guys, I hope you all enjoyed. My name is AntVenom, and I bid you all farewell. Thanks so much for watching.